This channel is for educational purposes only. Make sure you do your own due diligence before making any investments. And there is inherent risk in trading, so it's speculative. Just make sure you keep that in mind. Hi, I'm going to be on stockcharts.com TV this afternoon, actually later this morning, around 11 a.m. I think is the first run. And then they're going to show it a couple more times over the course of the next few days. I did the reflections for the 2020 on the financial sector. I post a lot of ideas at the end of it. I would watch the whole thing because I do a comparison between the industrials and the financials and how they played out this year. And I just think it's important to recognize, again, I have mentioned this a few times in some of the videos. I do think the financials are very important with respect to the market and how they trade, how the market trades. So I would take a look at that if you get the opportunity. Hi, this is Joe. I want to wish everybody a happy new year. Everyone's please stay safe and healthy, and let's have a great year in 2021. I'm going to talk about the S&P and the QQQ, and then I'm going to look at the Russell. So let's get started. Always want to look at the market conditions. And again, the way I've done this is I under the trend and momentum, I've got it broken down monthly, weekly, daily, hourly. That's the MWDH. And then I did it twice because the first time is for the trend and the second time is for the momentum. And so you can see that all the trends are positive on all time frames for the S&P right now. I'll go through those briefly. And then what I wanted to mention is that since the ADX on the S&P really has not confirmed, and we don't even have DI above 25, I can't really give the momentum a plus. But MACD is doing that, so I just made it neutral. I think the best condition trend is the weekly. We've got some issues on the daily, and then the hourly kind of moves around a little too much. It's not really something that, it's more of a trigger time frame than it is something that's going to determine how we feel about the market in most cases. So volatility is still in pretty good shape. And we have moved into an overbought condition up to 75. We've done that a few times. If we get up towards 80, so if we can get a little follow through into the new year, then I think we set ourselves up for probably a little bit more of a higher risk into a correction because the sentiment is still hanging around the mid 40s. Let's go straight into the charts, and I just want to make sure I follow up. And again, we've got we have price above a rising 18, which is above a rising 40 in all four time frames. And you know, when you see that, you have to give it its due. The trends are up in all the time frames, and this is the reason why we do these in multiple time frames. You want to know, in each time frame, are you stretched away from the moving average? How is your momentum? And so we want to just make sure we do trend, momentum, and whether you're overbought or oversold. So we're not really, I wouldn't consider, if you look at this all four time frames, I wouldn't consider us overbought by any stretch of the imagination in any specific time frame. I think if I'm looking at it being overbought, it's probably on the monthly chart a little bit. It's gotten a little away from the 18-month line. The two charts I really want to focus in on today are the weekly and the daily. And the main reason why on a weekly chart is that this is in the best condition. If you look at it from a momentum standpoint, the MACD is confirming, ADX is in pretty good shape, making new highs with this move. And so the point I'm trying to make is that if that time frame is the one that is the strongest or the one that has the best condition in place, then the 18 and the 40 in that time frame, and especially the 18, is the one you really want to focus in on. So I'm sort of looking at this. If we pull back to 3,500 and hold, which is where the 18 is on the weekly, I would view this as being still fine. If we were to break 3,500 and break the 18 week, then I'd start to get a little bit more concerned again, because this is one of the stronger, this is really the strongest time frame. I have been talking about the daily chart for a while now, and if you notice, the MACD still is not confirming. We're up at a new high. We're closing right at the highs for the year. And, MACD is just not confirming here. And ADX is even worse. It's down to 18. It's making another lower peak, even though price is making a higher peak. So this index has really set itself up for some kind of a reversal, I think, early in the new year. Now, we're going to have to see how it starts out. We could get a lot of volatility. If we get some volatility expansion, that could shift the ATR signal. But I would expect a little bit of follow through in the new year before we get some kind of a reversal. So we just want to be on the lookout for that pattern. I know I mentioned it a few times, but I wanted to make sure I brought that up again. Let's go back to all 4 time frames. Look at the Qs. Now, the Qs are in a slightly stronger position. Again, they're more stretched away, but we did spend 2 or 3 months working sideways on the Qs. And again, I like the condition of the ADX in this time frame. Even though it's not as high as it was back in 2018, it is rising with price. Probably would like to see DI come up and confirm here. If DI does not confirm and this were to roll down and break, say a trend line we put in here, that probably would concern me a little bit. But bigger concern for me is that we are getting somewhat stretched away. We'll just have to see what kind of follow through we get early next year. Again, to look at the weekly, I think it's in very good shape. ADX is in good condition. We haven't gotten confirmation from the MACD yet, but as long as this can hold the 18-week on pullbacks, I would view that as being a really good sign. I do want to look at the daily again for the same reason. We're making higher highs and higher lows in this. MACD really isn't confirming, and ADX is still well below 25. Now, DI is better on the Qs than it is in the S&P, but we're not getting the kind of strength that would show improvement in an ADX basis. And so if I were to draw a trend line in, it would basically be the exact same as the 18-day. So we want to keep an eye on the 18-day and the Qs. A break of that would sort of confirm this divergence, and we would probably get some type of a check back, certainly back to the 18-week would be the risk. So that's kind of what I would be on the lookout for there. I want to look at the Russell and give you a quick update. I mentioned this probably about a month ago. Big breakout, big move to the upside, and MACD turning at the 0 line. Really strong, powerful breakout. And, I just want to make sure I'm showing you this again because I think it really sets the stage for something next year. If it plays out the way it should, we should get a little bit more follow through, probably hit the 2000 mark. Did it hit that today? The high, it did actually get through 2000. So we might have already seen a little bit of a peak, but maybe it goes and tests or just nicks it again. And then we should pull back, maybe get a little closer to 1800, 1850, something like that. And I think that'll set the stage for some kind of a really good signal, buy signal. And I would be on the lookout for all the bigger stocks, market caps between say 1 and 5 billion that reside in the Russell 2000. I really think that there's a lot of attractive patterns here and definitely worth a look. It's worth your time putting up a monthly chart and a weekly chart side by side and going through as many of these Russell 2000 stocks that really just basically say have a market cap of between say $1 billion up to say even up to 5, but really up to 3 or 4. You'll find a lot of attractive base breakouts in there. So that would be my suggestion to you as we go into the new year. I think we'll have some opportunities. Probably won't be until mid or late January, but it's the type of thing we want to be thinking ahead, and that's where I would be right now. Again, I hope everyone has a safe and healthy time over the weekend, and please hit that like button to help me out in the YouTube algorithm, and we'll talk to you soon.